Hello, I am back for another update. This is going to be my month 3 update. It is a bit past the 3-month mark for me on Zepbound, but I'm just going to call it 3 months. Okay, first I want to address weight loss because that is what people tend to come to these videos for. They're wondering about how much weight someone lost. And I will say that I have now lost 10% of my body weight from when I started, and that's basically where I have plateaued and settled at. And I call it a plateau, but I'm not actually trying to lose more than that. I'm back to my normal body weight I had before PCOS ever onset. So I'm really happy with my progress, and I'm happy just to be here. So grateful for it. And 10% of someone's body weight is not insubstantial. It's a significant amount of weight, and especially on a shorter frame like mine, that kind of weight loss is very noticeable. But as I have said previously, I will not be including any numbers, like exact numbers of how much I lost, just because that's not really a good thing for anyone else to hear unless you were the exact same size and shape as I am and you're going through the exact same things. So really it doesn't make sense to compare my numbers to your numbers in that sense. I think just 10% is a good idea of how much I have lost. And then things to keep in mind when hearing those numbers about me, I haven't really been putting any significant effort into losing weight. I have been trying to maintain my muscle mass, so I've been consistently working out still as I was before, and I'm not trying to eat any differently, although my hunger and fullness levels have definitely changed. But I'm not putting in mental and emotional work to lose weight the same way that one would on a diet. So because I had already done some lifestyle changes before the Zepbound, then I just continued with that lifestyle, and that naturally made me lose the weight pretty quickly. The Zepbound just fixed the insulin resistance part of the equation, and then everything just worked. So of course your mileage may vary a lot. If you try Zepbound, it'll depend a lot on your lifestyle before and then after, how much weight you have to lose, your lifestyle and eating habits, your activity levels, everything. Just keep that all in mind. You might not have an experience like mine, but this has been mine. Ooh, and another thing about hunger levels is that I've seen people say that their hunger levels kind of go the lowest right after their dose, and then during that week up until the next dose, they find that the hunger levels kind of creep back up. And in the beginning, I wasn't experiencing that at all. It seemed I was just way less hungry all the time because I had been used to really high amounts of hunger before. But now I think now that I've kind of stabilized and I'm getting used to being on the medication, I am definitely noticing that the hunger also starts creeping back up a little bit and is the lowest the day after my injection. And then it gradually becomes more noticeable again up until the next injection the following week. And that's not a big deal for me. I don't mind feeling hungrier as the week goes on. And again, I feel the hunger more, but I still get full at the same rate. I still can't eat actually very big portions. So I don't think it leads to me eating more over the course of the week, but I think the hunger levels are more noticeable over the course of the week. That's all. The next thing I want to address is what I brought up in my last video, which is the new sensation of itching, burning, welts coming up at the injection site. And I am very sad to report that those have not stopped. They are still happening every week for me, and it's been a number of weeks now. So they tend to start around a day after the injection, and they last for the itching and burning sensation kind of lasts for 2-3 days mostly. And then the spot that becomes red at the injection site, it fades to a darker color, but it still remains hyperpigmented. So I have a whole bunch of spots now on my stomach, and then one still on my arm from my previous injections, and they have faded in color, in intensity, but they haven't all completely disappeared. So I still have spots, and that's a little bit concerning. I'm hoping that they do eventually go away, but they might not ever fade completely. Kind of upsetting, but that's just how it is for now, and I'll have to keep weighing up whether it's worth doing this still and having that happen. But I just mentioned that I have one on my arm, so I usually do my own injections in my belly area, and then just to see if the itching and burning welt side effect would be any different on my arm, different injection site. We tried that 1 week and it was pretty much the same thing. I personally don't have confidence that it would improve much just with other injection sites. I still haven't ever done an injection in my thighs. I'm scared of that and I don't want spots there. So I'm now back to injecting in my belly, and I'm collecting a whole bunch of spots. Something I found out a few weeks ago is that if I put a waterproof bandage on my injection immediately after, then it seems like it kind of contains the red and itching area a bit. Like it doesn't spread out to be as big as it would have been. So that's a really cool thing, and I will actually show you what I mean right now. Hopefully I don't expose too much of myself. But today is Tuesday, and I just did my injection last night, Monday. So I can show you my bandage on my injection site and how the redness is kind of going to the edge of the Band-Aid, but it doesn't really go past that. It tends to spread downward, and then it'll just stop at the edge of the Band-Aid. And the kind that I use, I think they're like Next Care waterproof Band-Aids, so I don't think this effect would be the same if you use like a regular Band-Aid that just sticks on the two sides. I think the reason this is happening is because it's like covering the skin in that area, and I think I'm not explaining this well, but I think something about the waterproofness and like the adhesive, it's just keeping things in that spot. But yeah, that is a thing. So if you are experiencing a similar side effect, then I would recommend trying out these waterproof Band-Aids. I just use like the really tiniest size, and maybe the waterproof adhesive will help contain the area for you too. And I will say the Band-Aid seems to help with the redness and the size of the area, but it doesn't help with the itching. Like it still itches and burns the same amount. Another thing is I have gone off of metformin. So I think I mentioned before that I was on metformin previously and it hadn't been doing a whole lot. And then when I started Zepbound, my doctor didn't really tell me to stop the metformin, so I didn't. But when I had my checkup, my like 3-ish month checkup with my doctor about Zepbound, and she basically said, yeah, there's no reason for you to stay on the metformin if you don't want to, so you can taper off of that. So I did titrate myself down pretty quickly, actually, and probably over the course of a week, from 1,500 milligrams down to nothing a day. And I haven't noticed a huge difference in anything PCOS-wise. Doesn't feel like it really affected my hunger levels, and my GI symptoms are hugely improved. They are almost gone now. So it's really nice to have a much more normal GI function. And yeah, that shows that it was the metformin for me, not the Zepbound. The Zepbound isn't really causing me too many GI issues in general, which is great. Ooh, and also my acid reflux, like kind of want to throw up, indigestion, heartburn feeling has also improved. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think that might also be because I stopped metformin. It's hard to say. If it seems like it was around the same time that they went away. It went away completely, basically. I almost never get that feeling now. So again, I think being on the Zepbound plus metformin was doing strange things to my body, and now my body is having a lot easier time of it not being on the metformin at the same time. And it's also so nice not to have to take multiple large pills a day and have to remember morning and evening when I eat, oh, I have to take my pill now. And then in other news, other side effects that I am dealing with, I had hair thinning already from the PCOS, and that's been happening for many, many years for me, gradually, but it feels like now, since being on Zepbound, that has increased, and it feels like my hair is a lot thinner than it was before the Zepbound even. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I'm sad about that, but I am going to try things that help with it. I don't know how much it'll really help because the root cause is there. But yeah, maybe I can do things to kind of counteract that effect. Another thing is my skin. So my skin was actually doing pretty well before the Zepbound. I wasn't getting that many zits, pimples, acne for the most part, but it feels like I have kind of gone back to how my skin was in the past, which was that I would get 1 or 2 large painful pimples a month, which is definitely related to my cycle. Even though it's not nice to have those happen, it does kind of feel like my body's going back to normal in that sense. And the same thing is happening with my periods. They've gotten heavier again as they used to be before the PCOS onset. I don't enjoy having heavier periods and like more cramping and stuff, but it does feel like my body is going back to normal, and that seems like a good thing. Okay, I think that is everything that I wanted to report today. Otherwise, things have been like stabilizing, and I feel quite good on the medication still, and it's overall doing what I wanted it to do. I'm happy with my progress, and I'm happy just to maintain as I am now, so hopefully I can just continue on the medication and maintain. And if anything else changes in the future, then I will, as always, post an update, but perhaps not much will change, so who knows when that'll be. Alright, that is everything for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.